I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be cool not to have to worry about all the stuff you've talked about before of
That's
like
fair.
going to the pool and being like, what time is it? I can't fucking see.
It is weird still seeing me without glasses. It's like my face isn't quite complete when I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'm used to having some sort of thing here called glasses.
Oh.
And it's strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, I have a surprise for you.
Oh boy.
Are you ready?
Here we go.
It's relevant to this conversation.
Okay.
Close your eyes, Joe.
Oh no.
Keep them closed.
Nope. Where
you
am
ready?
I? I don't like this.
All right. Anybody that's listening, this is a YouTube bit. Are you ready? Hello, Joe.
Yeah. Whoa. All right.
What do you think? How do I look?
Those are your old glasses.
These are my glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are my old Oakleys. Do I look fancy?
Always.
I don't know.
It's just different because of the magnification. Like I'm not seeing the magnification.
Hey,
that's all.
I forgot. Welcome to the opposite of important.
That's right.
I am Joe, and over here we have
Lance.
It was opposite day.
See,
it's the way it goes.
Not important.
I don't know. It's weird going from having something on your face for so long to not. I would imagine it's likened to getting a mole removed, right?
Well, it's like a ring or a bracelet.
Let's say like Cindy Crawford. You know, she's got that mole on her face, or let's say Gillian Anderson.
Yeah.
As well. I'm trying to think of other people. Robert De Niro. Mm-hmm. Imagine one day he just shows up mole-less.
Gwen Stefani.
Gwen Stefani has a mole?
She had one like here.
Oh, is that a thing?
It was like early 2000s.
That was a mole? That wasn't a thing that she was doing?
No.
That was actually on her skin?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing that. I thought it was a thing she was doing.
No. It was a mole.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm a doctor, remember?
I'm going to need everybody to...
Google it or put it in the comments, whatever.
Yeah, right.
What do you want to do?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was legit on her face. Mm-hmm. Wow.
And what was it? Like, for some reason, it's like...
Because it was in the Just a Girl video.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
But that was too centered. It was too symmetrical.
Some people have that.
I
think I'm right on this one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Because she was in multiple videos and interviews and whatever. But for some reason, it's like, okay, we're like a bracelet or a ring.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I fell asleep with my ring on last night.
But when you take it off and you go like a day without it,
I'm going to do that right now.
You feel like it's on. For some, like you feel it and you look down, you're like, that's weird.
There can be a little bit of that. I have a tick where I like go to spin it.
So I don't know about your glasses.
I do that.
Or what,
the glasses, there was a grace period after I got rid of them that I would go to like move them, or like push them up.
Like,
that was definitely a thing. It's the same thing with my ghost hair that I had after I shaved.
Yeah.
Because it was relatively long for a while before I shaved it, and there were times where I would go like I was brushing it behind my ear, and that was weird. But it was more like a tick.
Yeah.
Or whatever you would call it. Is that a tick? What would you call that?
I would say so, because like, when my beard gets longer, I tend to like run my fingers through it. Like that. Mm-hmm. And when I like trim it, I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, it's kind of that weird,
Yeah.
So I guess
I understand.
Or habit.
Yeah.
Habit. Yeah.
We're trying to get Joe to put some stuff on his shelves.
Yeah.
So, just shelf.
So if
singular.
You send something our way in the mail, I'll display it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So he forgot to bring something, but we did go to Ames, and we'll talk about that here in a second because that was fun. So anyway, we grabbed some stuff that I had here in my house, and I don't know where you found the Will Smith CD.
Bing.
Right over here?
Yep.
That makes sense. That's funny. Big Willie style.
That was a big part of my, upbringing, I guess.
Oh, so you didn't just randomly grab a CD. You found something that meant something
I knew
to you.
that was there, and I'm like, hold on. This was definitely an album that I listened to.
This one goes out to all the Big Willies.
Because he would interview himself.
Yeah, that's
between
right.
tracks.
Keith, be real.
Y'all know can't nobody rock a crowd like me. Getting Jiggy with It. Candy, I don't really remember. Chasing Forever. I think
Like
it's
candy.
Just Don't Say Nothing. Don't Say Nothing. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Miami, everyone knows that one.
Miami.
Yes, y'all. I don't remember.
South Beach, bringing
It's
the
all
heat.
good. Oh yeah, just the two of us. That was in Austin
Ha
Powers.
ha. Will Smith's ha-has and shit like that
Yeah.
was like Shimon
Yeah.
for Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Shimon.
And then at the very end was Men in Black.
Shimon.
1997. Yeah. right
That's
there.
a Chris Tucker doing Michael
Shimon.
Jackson.
Oh God, that was classic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God, look at that. With this
I know, right?
work boots.
There was a video I saw recently where somebody was
God.
trying to recreate a thing from the Getting Jiggy with It.
Good God.
Is it scratched up or did I take care of
Oh,
it?
I was looking at it's all right. It's not bad. I mean, for 97.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
bad.
fun artwork that you'd see. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, that was a
Let
fun
me see
one.
it. Let me see it.
Yeah. That was a fun album.
Yeah.
I remember growing up with my cousins and listening to that. And
I had
it
the
was-
CD.
It was clean rap.
Yes, I had the CD and 97. Good God, we're old. Wow. So I had this CD. I realize I've said that 3 times now. Something happened to it and it got lost or whatever. But then I was in school and some friends of mine, like we weren't great friends, but the girls that were like in the same friend group as us, we had twins in the group, Erica and Jocelyn. I think it was Erica that talked to me, and we were doing a project together, and she mentioned that she got this CD, and I was like, oh, I like that CD, and she said that she thought that it was a piece of shit, so she was gonna give me hers, and so I went over to their house for some project we were working on. She was like, here's your CD. So I had it back again. And I think that this is the one that I got from her. I don't know what happened to mine. Because 97, I wouldn't have been like selling CDs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talked the other day about CD Exchange and whatnot.
Yeah.
Places like that where you would go and sell your stuff. I wouldn't have done that. So I feel it must have gotten misplaced somewhere. But yeah. Yes, yes, y'all. Miami. Favorite song on here. Is it one of the hits or what was it? So it has 4 hits because just the 2 of us was a hit. Yeah. What's your favorite?
There was a good one. Like,
Jiggy was a fun video, and it was neat to see him have his solo career.
Yeah.
So that was neat. Then Miami must have been after that. So Men in Black came out. And then he was on the album for that.
Mm-hmm.
But then, so he had the song on that album. So this must have come out
Maybe
like 6 months after that? Because was Men in Black pre-97? What year did that come out?
Came out in 97.
Men in Black did?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it came out in 97.
And on Men in Black, he had the song Just Cruisin'.
Yeah.
I like that song too.
Then he had one like Men in Black 2 came out. Nod your head.
Yeah, but we're talking. This is earlier. You're moving too fast.
I know. That was funny because it was like I thought that was. It took me a while to realize that like yes, every movie that Will Smith did, he always did a song with it.
Yeah.
But then it took me a while to figure out that he was taking a song that already existed and redid it. Mm-hmm. So Men in Black already existed.
Sampling.
Yeah. So Men in Black already existed, but just with different lyrics. I'm like, what? Weird, you know? So
yeah,
it's fun to like throw. Why don't we throw an album together that's the original song, Will Smith, original song?
I don't remember all of these, but I remember most. I bet if I played it, I would know it. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, people. If we play it, then we can't put this on YouTube.
3 seconds.
It's the way it goes.
What?
It's a bummer. Is Echo there?
Hey, Echo.
Echo. Are you okay?
Really happy for Baby Yoda am I, because he made it to the International Space Station as the official zero-gravity indicator. Hey NASA, if you ever need me for a mission, I promise not to take up too much space.
All right.
What is going on?
We were just asking how you're doing. Okay. It's cool. It's cool.
I guess Baby Yoda made it to the space station. Awesome.
My face is on a thumb drive in space.
Okay.
Yeah. It was one of those things where you could upload your selfie
The fuck are you talking about?
It's something that went into space.
This is an actual thing?
Yeah. This was a thing I got a certificate for. That you could upload within a time frame. You could upload a picture to this website, and it'd be launched into space. And it was launched, or maybe they were just making shit up.
Just your picture, or everybody? Like you got your own USB up in space, or
No,
how does
like,
that?
It
work?
was a website, so you uploaded your face to a website, and then I don't know how many thousands of people did it, but they said no, we launched it on this day, and you'll get a certificate that your face was in space. Yeah, and I have a certificate somewhere that's like, my face is on a thumb drive.
Here's the thing. That means that aliens would need to have a USB 2.0 drive.
They could do it. They could do it. You don't know. Maybe,
These guys got USB too? All right.
Maybe E.T.'s like taking his finger off and going, boop. I don't know.
How dare you, sir?
He's a smart guy.
He would never.
Go and then stick in. Maybe that's how he reads.
That's not how ET works.
How do you?
I talked to Steven.
Why does his finger light up?
Love.
And it's not the middle one, like. Woo.
Well, he only has 4 fingers, right? So it was like his index finger, or did he have 3 fingers?
Ouch.
Echo. How many fingers did ET have?
E.T. has 5 fingers on each hand.
Well,
fuck you.
he had 5 fingers.
Wow.
Why did I think he had less?
I don't know, because usually that's the case.
And how the hell does she know that?
Right? 5-finger death punch was E.T.
We got yelled at for our Echo being named what?
Yes, we
the
did.
name that shall not be named.
Whoops.
So we changed the name because there was some fighting words.
One viewer was vocal with us.
A little more vocal than Echo was herself.
Right.
Sorry, Echo. I didn't mean to say your name.
Boo. Shut down.
Sorry, I don't know that.
It's fine.
Good.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Favorite 90s music? Go. Don't say Chumbawamba.
Okay, for me it would be later, mid to late, because I was born in
So
89.
97-ish.
Yeah,
right?
that'd probably be about right. By the time I'm kind of
Oh, I didn't turn on my lamp.
favorite, man. That's hard. There's like big names that were just popular.
There we go.
I mean, like that time was 99, Smash Mouth.
What would you have been listening to in Joe's bedroom, 1999? What were you cranking on your little boombox?
Probably a mix of Smash Mouth, Britney Spears. Like
Okay.
I think she had hit One More Time at that time. Hit me, baby.
Yeah.
Or
That would have been about right.
yeah. Or the Oops, I Did It Again.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
later, yeah, with the jumpsuit and like
That was in 99?
maybe it was around that time or 2000.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
I'm on the brink there.
Maybe, because those first 2 albums were pretty close, right?
I think I was more into pop around the
Dirty
time. I was,
pop?
Yeah. NSYNC, Backstreet Boys were getting popular around that time. Maybe
Okay.
I don't know how early they were late in the 90s.
Move your mic a little closer.
Yeah, I don't know how late in the 90s.
Oh,
that
boy. Yeah.
Boosh. Hear my voice now. Yeah, so I was definitely into, and I think that's just kind of what everyone was buying the popular CD, because, we didn't have any streaming. We didn't have,
Yeah.
we had regular TV.
And 99 is when Napster was happening.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So internet was we really only had CDs, and we really only had what was popular at school dances.
Yeah.
And if someone had a CD, we'd ask about it and kind of that network, so that's all we really had. And then
When did you get your first burned CD?
that's a good question.
Because mine would have been around 99, probably. And it would like blow your mind that you could make your own CD, pick your tracks. And I mean, it's one thing to have access to CDs that, I'm getting flooded with a bunch of different memories of this shit now. But it was one thing to have the separate CDs, and then you could compile your own album, because clearly back then you could rip things to your PC or whatever, and then make the new album from that. But then you found somebody that was on Napster or whatever the first one was. I think it was Napster. And that then you could like pull and get other songs that you didn't have to go out and buy the album.
Right.
And it was like,
I'd say, you know, my older brother knew what he was doing. And I think maybe I saw my first, I don't know, maybe it'd probably be around 2001, too. Something like that. So I would have been like a little bit mid to late middle school, kind of seeing the technology.
Yeah.
And then my brother figured out a way to like compress. He had a CDR, but he put MP3s on it. And so he managed to find a way to compress it so there was like 100 songs on one disc.
It was an MP3 CD. That's what that was.
Yeah.
So for some reason you could fit way more on an MP3 CD. And then if you had the right player, even in your vehicle or whatever, you could listen to that many songs.
Yeah.
Because if a CD holds 700 megabytes, then clearly you can fit way more than just, 12 tracks on it.
So I think around that time, it was like early high school.
Yeah.
And then like I knew the technology was out there. We just didn't have it yet. I remember being on the bus in middle school when I asked someone like, what's that? Oh, it's an MP3 player. I'm like, what? And it's all digital. And I had the fucking disc and the Walkman,
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, no, I'm just listening to whatever. I'm like, wow. And then I got a CD burner for like one of my birthdays or something like that. Because then I bought Napster cards all the fucking time.
Oh, you paid for it?
That because I wasn't around. We didn't have internet during the time that it was free.
Oh,
And I did have LimeWire, and I did all that route, and whatever. So I was trying to be honest with it, but fuck it.
What's the point?
Yeah. So I started, I think, making my own, like maybe sophomore year, freshman, like when I actually had the technology to do it. And we had internet.
It was the worst. It would have been in later 2000, maybe early 2001, because I would still use Napster or LimeWire or something like that. But you would download a song, but it was early on, and I'm not sure if they were corrupted or if it was like a practical joke, but you would get a file, it would play, you'd be looking forward to listening to the song. It would take like a half an hour to download the fucking song wherever I lived. I'm sure there was faster speeds out there for other people, but where I lived, I kept getting those AOL instant access CDs.
Oh yeah.
And it would let you be on the internet for X amount of hours or X amount of days. And so I would use that in order to connect because my aunt and uncle that I was living with, they didn't have internet connection, like period. And I was the only one with a computer in there, so it's not like they cared. So I would just compile all of these CDs and just try to get as much free internet as I could. But then I dial in, I download a song. I'd be looking forward to the song. I wait a half an hour for it to show up. It plays like 10 seconds of the song, and then you hear.
Like, nope.
Yeah, no good.
That's where I really started getting my own taste because, you grow up and you really only stick with, I'm sure it's different these days with kids and technology, but, you're stuck with listening in the car to what your parents want to listen to.
That's true.
And so you're like, well, 70s it is. Elton John it is.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Yeah.
So they had that 30-second, before you purchase for like 99 cents a song.
Right.
You had that 30-second thing. And so I'm like, what's AC/DC all about? And I'm like, fucking A, man. Like, I've never...
And
I've
it
heard...
starts.
Yeah, I mean, I'd heard AC/DC. I knew some of their... But, like, that was the opportunity to actually, like, kind of sit there and be like, this fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Like, I've never heard my parents listen to this. You
Yeah.
know? Like, so that was kind of fun to poke around.
I had a bunch of 80s rock in the house when I was growing up. Like, there was Metallica, there was Poison, there was Motley Crue, things like that, late 80s, early 90s. I didn't dabble into the stuff earlier than... I'm not a 70s person. We've discussed this. 70s just has a weird vibe to it, right?
It's just kind of a boogie, kind of a... It's different.
Yeah, like the disco and like the end of disco, that stuff didn't bother me so much. But the 70s Southern rock can suck it.
Like
and I
Leonard Skinner kind of
sort of. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I had every opportunity to try to I did try to listen to it. I just hated it so much.
Yeah. That's
didn't-
weird. And
Yeah.
all of the 70s. That's 10 years.
Yeah.
Not one piece or artist.
Here's the thing, it's just got a weird fucking vibe to it. Now, okay.
That's what they
Now
say.
there would have been, obviously there's exceptions because I like certain artists that existed in the 70s, Billy Joel.
Yeah.
We talked about him recently, Aerosmith. But I didn't really like their shit back then. Like Dream On is what it is. It's a good
like
song.
Super early. Yeah.
But they sound like Aerosmith for
Right.
the most part.
Yeah.
That was before Steven Tyler was
Walk This
getting
Way.
all crazy. Yeah.
Heroin. Walk This Way came out in 75, but
Yeah.
it seems like it's the 80s.
Yeah.
In a way, it's kind of weird.
And well, because DMC did that with them. Was that 80, 82?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just
So it's weird that I listen to
okay.
music. Yeah,
Let's talk about, as much as I don't want to. Let's talk about 70s music.
Yeah.
So bands like Foghat.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
yeah. I know the song. I just I would never elect to listen to it
Okay.
ever.
Even with like a rock edge, when you kind of,
I don't know, man.
that's a rock. I mean, like that's a rock band. It's not like a boogie band. It's not like what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
but the thing is, like the
What's the noise that you're like?
I don't
I don't
know how to describe
There has to
it.
be something in there.
But there's something about that vibe. Like I just don't dig it. A lot of the music I appreciate and enjoyed watching the movie Dazed and Confused. It's a good movie. A lot of the music in it, I just don't like. And that's the thing, is that I've heard it so much that I know it. Like I can sing along with it. I could go up and karaoke the shit out of a lot of these songs because I've been so exposed to them over the years.
Right.
And
But-
I know the inflection of the voice. I know what to do with it.
But it's not what you gravitate to. I get it.
No, it
Yeah.
sucks.
It's like
It sucks so hard. It's name some other 70s bands. Who do you
Wild
know?
Cherry.
What?
Play that funky music, white boy.
See, that doesn't bother me so much. That's different because that's more funky.
Yeah.
That's not Southern rock.
Kind of- yeah. Then
Yeah.
you have Leonard Skinner, Southern Rock.
Eat it.
Foghat.
Suck it.
Good God, why do I know these '70s bands when I'm like? Anyways,
Yeah, I don't know.
There's Earth, Wind, and Fire. My dad loved that one.
Tell me some of their songs.
I know. I'm blanking on them, but
Echo. What songs does Earth, Wind, and Fire sing?
I know about 336 songs by Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Jesus.
including September, Let's Groove, Reasons, and Fantasy.
You're my
I didn't
man,
know
you're
those.
what I can't. Yeah, there's one that's in Austin Powers.
Apparently, they sang a lot of
300.
songs.
There's REO Speedwagon.
Okay, REO Speedwagon bothers me less. Them and Boston
Yeah.
and
Now we're talking.
fucking okay. They bother me less, but maybe because a lot of their songs that I know seem more like anthems now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's Bee Gees and there's
Yeah, Bee Gees.
That's kinda
but
just-
that's the thing, is that they're their own thing, because you wouldn't say that Michael Jackson was an 80s artist or a 70s or a 90s. He was just always Michael Jackson.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would never. I mean, think about the longevity of the Foo Fighters. We got this poster up here by you.
95.
Yeah, I don't know if people can see the full poster in there. But that's the thing, is that they started in 95 after, the
Right?
yeah, not
Nirvana.
great. Yes. So after that's done, then he wants to continue a music career, which is awesome. I would never call them a 90s band
Right.
because they've existed for so long and their sound hasn't really changed up until Shame Shame,
I can't wait for the
They're-
new album.
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
can't
It's Shame is growing on me a little bit. I'm curious to see what's to follow.
Yeah. I'm like,
But they
fucking
kept playing up how different it was going to sound. And I mean, yeah, it's a little different, but it's not like crazy different.
Yeah, it's a groove kind of.
Yeah.
It's not their in your face power.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see, but we have to wait till fucking February. Like, why?
Yeah, that's weird.
But like, yeah, a lot of the '70s, Earth, Wind, and Fire. There's Firefall. There's like,
I think we can all agree that the 70s were terrible for
Is it
music,
like
right?
there's a lot of people in the 70s that had like the high voice because it was like disco
Steve
and
Perry.
it was like
Yeah.
oh Journey, yeah. I mean
Yeah.
that's kind of a they got super big in the 80s though.
Yeah.
Like but they like they were around in the 70s.
Maybe I'm being too hard on the 70s. Probably not. But I think it must just be the Southern rock.
Mm-hmm.
It just rubs me the wrong way. And the 70s was packed full with Southern rock.
Yeah, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like nowadays country.
Is Alabama a country group or a rock group?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, Kid Rock likes them, which leads me to believe that they're terrible.
What's the Earth, Wind, and Fire song
I don't know.
that is in, what's it?
Wait, okay. Echo. What is Earth, Wind, and Fire's most popular song?
Earth, Wind, and Fire's most popular song on Amazon Music is September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
There's
Do
that.
you remember
And then there was one.
when it was last September?
What's the, hold on, pardon me. What's the, okay. Okay, Google. I don't want to like mess it up. Goldfinger.
He's trying to be so secret.
Hold on here. No,
Here, you say your thing,
okay.
and
Okay, Google. Gold member.
we're not trying to set off anybody's phone. Don't get mad at us.
Shining Star. There you go.
Shining Star.
Echo. Shining Star, Earth, Wind, and Fire. I know 2 seconds worth or whatever.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm not sure.
You know it. You know it.
Echo. Play the song "Shining Star" by Earth, Wind, and Fire. You got to know how to talk to her.
Here's Shining Star by Earth, Wind, and Fire on Amazon Music.
It's the Elaine dance.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All
Where
right.
she can't dance. That's the same song.
Echo, stop.
Yeah. Same.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So that's the song that was in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a.
They
groovy-
played that song in Seinfeld?
Yeah, when Elaine can't dance, she's
No,
got the
I
thumbs,
remember the scene. I just
Yeah,
don't remember
that's
the
the
song.
song.
That's funny.
and if she's trying to do the kicks and shit, it's like
That's
yeah.
funny.
So they're kind of, I don't know. That's a groovy kind of band.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's a
We're
different
gonna
sound.
dive more into this, but first we're gonna take a break. We're gonna be right back.
Woo!
Oh, and we have an announcement for you.
Dude,
So make sure you come back.
70s, man. I should, and then you have what about those?
Wait.
All right. Thank you.
Joe was trying to keep talking. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break with the commercial that you've probably heard before.
Right.
Apologies for that, but we can't crank them out like we used to.
No.
We're so busy.
I know, right?
And fancy.
I used to crank it out.
You
when I
already
was
know.
18 all the time.
Wait,
No.
what? How you doing over there?
Are we recording? We're good. We're rolling. We're rolling.
Good.
So, what about like single performers? Like, they're not really a band, but I mean, they might have a band behind them, but they're a solo artist. Like
Yeah.
Paul Simon, or like 70s.
yeah.
that's still 70s. Or James Taylor. Yeah, that's kind of. They're not really a band, but they're more.
No, that's true.
Folky.
I don't mind Paul Simon. I'm going to be real with you. I don't care for Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Okay.
I like Paul Simon by himself.
Yeah.
Not all of his shit, but way more than Simon and Garfunkel. But then again,
And Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett.
I don't really care for him either.
All right, that's fair.
But I know people that like him, and I get it, but I don't know. I was kind of in control of all of my own music. Like, so growing up, my mom listened to the Monkees.
Oh yeah.
So I grew up liking them. And it's one of those things, the Monkees, fucking Michael Jackson, I don't know. There's a handful of others. Bon Jovi that I grew up with.
Yeah.
I know that those are very separate bands, but those I would put those all in the same classification. That would be, I will never not know the lyrics to those songs, much like a lot of the Weird Al stuff. And it's ingrained in my mind until the day I'm dead.
right.
I don't think when you come to me and you ask me the lyrics to Last Train to Clarksville or fucking Living on a Prayer, and I don't know it, then you know I'm on the way out.
And then we pull the plug.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
But I mean, check back a second time. Check back the next day, just in case, because don't just immediately do it. But yeah, I don't know. You should put Big Willie style.
Then you have Elton John, who's like 70s, 80s, 90s.
I'm still standing.
Like, he's multi-generational.
Somebody sang that song last night.
I don't know. I guess I don't know him well enough to know if there's a sound difference from his 70s to...
He sounds like fucking Elton John.
No matter what. Like Aerosmith.
I think so.
Yeah.
He got softer in the 90s.
Can you... Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
He was a little softer. There was an album that I found of Elton John's. It must have been on a cassette or CD somewhere. I was looking at it. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Maybe I'll like this album. And then I realized it didn't have any songs on it that I knew.
Like weird.
There was like none.
Huh.
And I was like, what?
You know.
But I know he has so many hits.
Yeah.
And then I think I found one track on it that I vaguely remembered. And I tuned into Spotify later on, and I was like, oh, yeah, this was a song.
That guy.
I remember that. But other than that, I knew none of them. Out of a full fucking album by Elton John. Same thing happened with Celine Dion.
Titanic.
I came across a few, I said across with a T at the end. I came across some Celine Dion tapes. And I was like, okay, first of all, I'm not like a hardcore Celine Dion fan. Let's be real about it.
Right.
But she does have some good songs. And I was thinking that maybe her 90s stuff was kind of upbeat and she had some of the hits in there. And one of the tapes did have a few on there that I knew. Not enough for me to keep the tape. But because I've got a whole thing with all the tapes that I have that I need to be, everything that's out there, I need to be willing to listen to the album all the way through.
Right.
Because it's a tape, you know. You can't just click the next one.
Boop.
Yeah. But the other tape didn't have jack shit on it. And I was like, really?
Weird.
But she was huge.
Nuts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, we have an announcement.
Here we go.
to
Hold
make.
on tight.
Buckle up, people.
Click.
Here it is.
Click.
We, my friends, are now on Patreon.
Patreon.
Now, if you don't know what that is, it's a way for you to be able to help us out, I guess. But not only are you helping us out, but we're helping you out. So as of right now, we have a Patreon that is set up as, I want to make sure I get this right. It's www.patreon.com/oppositepod. All right?
Gotcha.
So opposite pod, one word. And on there, we now, as of right now, have an extra episode on there for
exciting.
you to listen to.
Yes.
Now, what we're doing for now is that I don't know if it's going to continue this way, but it seems to be working out well that we record something at night, but there happens to be a little bit more substance abuse going on while we're recording. So it gets a little interesting. Now, the episode that is up there, we did actually last night.
That's
and
right.
It was a lot of fun. We had a good time. And we're going to talk about the Patreon a little bit more here in a second, but we thought that we would share with you a brief little clip of us last night. And here it is. And the one question that they cut out was, and let me try to remember the way that they phrased it correctly. Name the dog from this movie. And they played The Power of Love.
I'm like, dude, boom.
And I remember looking out to my family in the audience, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, of all of the questions, and I mean, it was
Hold on,
it was 2000.
Technically, that's a two-answer. Dog had two names.
Fair.
So I don't know what you picked or what.
Fair. Well, I picked the 1985 one because
Einstein.
he was the main one. Yeah, Einstein.
Yeah.
I remember thinking about that too. But at the same time, I'm just like, are you fucking, are you kidding me right now?
What are the chances?
Like, do you know?
I know this
who
shit.
I am? Oh my God.
I know this.
It was just so random. And another one, and so it's a huge bummer, not that I watch this video anymore, but that's the one question that they cut out. But then they put in the very last question that they said, what is the name of this song? And they started playing The Twist. And nobody else knew it. It was crazy.
God, come on, man.
And then they're like, can you do it? And so I fucking did it because I was 18 and I was super badass.
Right?
So that was it.
There you go.
That is a brief clip of our Patreon episode that is out there right now. I think it's over an hour, something like that. So here's what we're going to do. If you guys would go on to Patreon and support us for a low dollar, it's so low.
It's so low, folks.
It's Han Solo.
Oh my God.
So if you go on there and you decide to subscribe to our Patreon, you will get an extra episode every week. Now, as of right now, because we were kind of keeping it a little more low key, so it's only audio right now. It's not video, but it would be greatly appreciated. And we figured we've been doing this long enough that maybe we would try to make
more
a
content.
little something off of our podcast, have a little bit more content out there for you guys, and hopefully it's a win-win. And knowing us and what we're like when we have a few drinks in us, it's gonna be interesting.
Was fun last night,
I know, it's probably for the best that it's not on video.
Yes,
but it would mean a lot to us if you went to www.patreon.com/oppositepod and subscribe.
Click it.
You should do that.
Do it.
Hopefully that goes well and people enjoy it.
Yeah. Hope for the best. Stay for the worst.
That's our motto. Hope for the best, stay for the worst.
I don't know. That should be on it.
Is that a thing?
It's maybe on a knit sweater somewhere.
All right. Yeah. Well, now it's our thing.
There you go. Be on a barn quilt up here, you know.
I'm excited about the Patreon stuff.
We'll see what happens.
And we're gonna do some more stuff for you guys with that here in the future. And actually, we talk a little bit about it in the Patreon episode.
That's right. Sign up today.
Yeah.
You won't regret it.
No, I hope not.
No.
I won't regret it. It's just fun. We get to be a little bit more loose in those episodes and not worry about how we're positioned in our chairs.
Oh boy, I look terrible.
We turned down all the lights. It was we were really setting the mood in here.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Pretty dope.
And then after we recorded that, we watched what's the name of that show?
Oh my God, what was that? I need to look more into
Auntie,
because I screenshot.
Joe told me about this show.
Yes.
That happens to be executive produced by Ed Helms.
Auntie Donna's Big Ol' House of Fun.
Yes. So this is they're Australian.
They're Australian, like three guys, and it's just off the wall.
Yeah. You need to be in a certain mood to watch this show. It's different.
It was. It just started with the music video of Everything's a Drum. Everything's a drum. Everything's a drum.
I don't know how to describe this. Go and watch the first episode.
Yeah.
And there are eventually celebrity cameos in the show, but not really in the first episode, which is probably because it was the pilot.
Right.
So
they haven't sold it yet.
Yeah, they had to get that under their belt before they got some other people. But I heard Kristen Shaw.
Yes.
In there. Ed Helms does show up.
Ed Helms, Weird Al.
But there was a brief thing by Weird Al. Yeah.
He just sits there and waves at the camera. Just like, hey. It's like, how much did you get paid for that? Like
it does help. I think it's fair to say this, and we're all adults, I believe. It does help if you have a drink or two before you try to sit through this show.
Don't do that sober, folks.
It would be interesting for us to try to do an episode of our podcast off the wall like that, which I'm sure we could do, but it would almost ruin the format. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How would you listen to something like that?
You'd have to make it like with sound effects.
I know, right?
That's a Patreon one.
Oh, no kidding.
God.
Joe likened it to the Eric Andre show.
Kind of in the same wheelhouse.
Yes.
Of just
and you're not wrong.
What's going on?
Yeah. Because it hops around. Now that one, they go, well, no, that's true, because they do have things out and about that they do. So yeah, it is in the same wheelhouse of that.
What's going on?
I wonder
Funny.
how Eric Andre feels about that.
Uh-oh.
Where's he been?
On the internet, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
most likely.
Where's
That's where he
Jonathan Taylor
lives.
Thomas been? We've talked about him earlier.
This
Where's
was-
he been?
This was in a completely separate conversation that was not in this room.
That was off air.
We said something else, and I said Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and that leads us to now. So he did Home Improvement. He
That's right.
did fucking
Lion King.
What was Jungle to Jungle?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Tim Allen, right?
Yeah. And then he
Apologies for drinking my coffee.
He did like a Christmas movie, or like I'll Be Home for Christmas or something like that. When he's older.
That sounds
when
familiar.
he was,
Yeah.
like, older. But like, where the fuck is he? Wouldn't it be awesome if he did like a Netflix thing?
Yeah.
And then like for us 90s kids that like Home Improvement.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, I think, was Echo. How old is Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas is 39 years old.
Oh.
He was born on September 8th, 1981.
He's almost a year older than me.
Yeah.
I thought he was younger than me.
right there.
That motherfucker.
God damn it.
How dare he?
What if they redid Home Improvement and brought it to like Netflix, like Fuller House? And like everyone, you know? It's not like the other two kids are doing anything these days. Like what's Mark and Brad doing these days?
I'm probably not great things.
Brad was in Tokyo Drift. And you know
For
how much
real?
Yeah. The older brother.
Oh,
That guy?
that's right.
I don't know his real name, but I go by the character.
I've legit watched that movie one time.
Right?
One time.
Tokyo Drift.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best of all.
I'm not sure.
No.
I mean,
10
it
of 'em?
depends on what you're looking at.
I need to go through and just watch them all again.
We could do that.
That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
The first one's comical because they're stealing TV VCR combos. Like, what? Like, dude, you know, you can just like.
I enjoy those movies for what they are.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an adventure. It's fun.
Yeah.
But you're just like, wow, I remember people driving those fucking cars.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you know?
and I hadn't seen Tokyo Drift when it came out, but I was told later on in life that I had to watch it, so I did. And I did enjoy it.
I liked
for
it.
what it was.
It was just a smidge different.
Yeah.
But in the whole, it makes sense in the whole grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, it's kind of a prequel to this, and this
Yeah.
is a new character kind of guy, and it's like now he's in Japan. It's like, ooh, drifting. Okay,
Yeah, and then the thing at the end.
yes,
with the guy.
I know.
Ooh, yeah.
Nick Fury showed up.
We're waiting for 9. Nick Fury showed up. So we're waiting for 9 now, right?
Yeah, they
Is that it?
postponed it.
Or was it 10?
9.
It was 9.
Yep.
So it's out there. If somebody could just leak that. Coming to America 2 on
that's
Amazon.
right. I read
yeah,
that.
that's happening. April?
Yeah.
Is that right?
And then I heard that they're rebooting. What was it? That robot in the 80s.
Short Circuit.
Short Circuit. They're remaking that.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's like,
unless it has the goot
but
in it.
you know that they wouldn't be entertaining that idea if they weren't going to do it well. You know?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm just worried.
True. I know.
And I mean, you had Ali Sheedy, Steve Guttenberg. I mean, it's like a epic 80s, thing. And that movie is a big part of my childhood. And I love it so much.
I wonder
that
if
I'm a little trepidatious.
Do they take it 2020? Or do they spend the money Netflix style and flip it back to 80s and still kind of have it, you know?
That would be cool.
And
I don't think that they would do that. Although, I mean, technology has changed so much. It's going to be a completely different movie. Like, people could legit build that robot now. It doesn't need to be a big corporation.
Yeah.
Like, he would be easy. I mean, he's basically WALL-E,
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
right?
Yeah.
So WALL-E kind of stole it too, except he had less of a vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
It's when he's
So that's going on.
input.
Meh. I forget. I know I watched it like decades ago, but like
It's a solid movie.
all I really remember is just the robot. That's it. Like I can't tell you actors. I can't tell you
Hey, Laser Lips, your
can't- yeah.
mama was a snowblower.
I couldn't tell you that. I couldn't tell
You need
you
to watch it.
the gist of the movie.
We could maybe watch that tonight.
You know,
I bet the kids would enjoy that.
I was like, oh my god,
You could have some chili, watch some Short Circuit.
Chili.
We should watch a movie tonight.
Right.
We haven't watched a movie. We've been watching TV shows and the Lego stuff.
Legos.
Yeah.
Been fun. I've been watching like the, shitty Hallmark. Like I'll do it while cleaning the house. It's something that you don't really have to pay attention to. But like I was telling you, like Mr. Christmas on Netflix, where he reads a letter and then he goes to someone's house and he's like, oh my God, we're going to make your house perfect for Christmas. And then he teaches you how to like decorate. And it's like, this is kind of interesting. And I'm like, how much fucking money does this guy have? Because he's like, oh, this is inexpensive because you can just do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, that'd be like $150.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus. But I learned that you can make a garland out of peppermints because
God.
And you can get the hot glue and glue them together.
I'm sorry, America.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I was watching.
Remember what I said about Mr. Christmas?
He's a piece of shit.
No.
No.
I said
I'm just assuming.
I said my wife calls me Mr. Christmas because I always bring the package.
Coming soon. He's coming. Christmas is coming early.
We're adults.
Meh.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about remakes, man, of 80s movies. I mean, they're going to do it no matter what. I never watched the TV show Lethal Weapon.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing for a minute.
Because that had Damon Wayans in it,
Yeah.
didn't it?
Not at first. But then he like swapped out because he was more famous.
Wait, he swapped out and then somebody else, but then he decided he was going to be done with it, and then somebody filled in for him.
Oh, that's right. Sean William Scott was in it too.
it's
So
weird.
it was like,
But then it's not Lethal Weapon anymore.
it was this duo that was okay, and then they swapped him out for more famous.
That's the thing.
Then
Then it's not Lethal Weapon anymore.
no, but why are you swapping out people left and right
We'll just fucking call it.
for more famous people? Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Stupid.
I don't like that.
People are stupid.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, speaking of people being stupid,
Ooh.
Joe and I went to Ames today. Tell the story, Joe.
Here we go. So I was all excited because there's a great barbecue place, and I don't want to make it sound like I don't want
I do.
to sound like I'm shitting on them because
Do
I'm
it.
not. Because I like the place.
I've never eaten there.
It's
and
great.
this did not help.
It's great. Anyway,
Maybe I'm being too hard on them, but I don't think so.
all right. And so we go, and I'm like, you know what? They put out a menu for like Thanksgiving. Now I'm not interested in the food for
Yeah,
Thanksgiving, but the drinks. There's some specialty drinks, and one was called a bourbon smash. Bourbon. It had pumpkin syrup in it, so you had a pumpkin flavor, and you had apple cider juice in there. You
Yeah.
had something that kind of a mix. That profile seemed kind of fun. So you can buy like a quart of it. And so I'm like, great, I know they're open today. So I hit you, hey, let's go get some coffee. I want to see if I can buy some of this.
And we did get coffee.
And we got
Here it
coffee,
is.
and mine's empty. It's so
Mine
nice.
says Honey Van Dark.
Mm.
It's my
Okay.
nickname there.
Honey Van Dark. I have Toast Mo. That's
Anyway.
marshmallow mocha.
Anyway,
Toasted marshmallow. Anyway, so we get our coffees. That went well, and then we go over, and it was weird because, like, I guess I didn't keep an eye on the time or whatever, and it's well past 3. I looked at my phone. They didn't like lock their doors like a normal company might do.
right.
We walked in, and the guy was helpful, and I'm like, hey, can I get this? And he's like, well, we're closed. And I'm like, oh, what? We close at 3. And I look down, and I'm like, it's 3:18. I'm like, oh, okay. I can't get a drink. Nope, we're closed. I'm like, okay. It's like,
Now, here's where I'm going to interject, if you don't mind. When I looked around the restaurant, I noticed that there's still at least 4 tables inside that still have people eating
Yes.
at them. And we were not asking to be seated. We were just wanting to purchase something
and leave.
from them.
Yes.
And then leave the premises. So I call bullshit on that whole situation because all you wanted to do was get your drink and then pay for it and leave it. So you're telling me that all of these people that are sitting down at these tables, they've already prepaid for
Right.
their food?
I don't know.
Like you can't sell an item right now And we were planning on having chili tonight. So my wife said, hey, if you're going there, maybe see if you can buy some biscuits. So then you say something to me about asking about the biscuits. And I'm like, well, there's really no point now. And he was like, well, maybe I could answer your question. And I'm like, you kind of already did.
Yeah, you're
close. Like I
Like-
can't, it's not like I can buy something right now because you're being weird about your fucking register.
Right.
And then we go outside and there's more people seated on the patio.
Yeah, it was nuts.
All you have to do is sell us this thing.
and we're out the door.
That's it.
That's it. There was no line. There was no like.
I should have asked for a manager.
It wasn't like there was 15 people.
I was going to be the
Yeah.
man, Karen.
I think I think he was just trying to follow the rules. I mean, I've never seen that guy before, but he was.
What's the male version of Karen?
Kyle?
Is it Kyle?
Maybe
I thought maybe it was Kevin.
Kevin? That
Is it Kevin?
could be.
Fun fact for you. Fun fact for everybody out there. Rumor has it, and this is a rumor that I heard from my aunt a long, long time ago
In a galaxy far.
in this same galaxy. She thought that my real dad's name was Kevin.
Yeah? Do you know your real dad's name?
No.
No?
But I was told by her, I think it was Kevin. That was a direct quote. I think his name was Kevin.
All right, we'll go with Kevin.
Yeah. So I don't know. He was a real Kevin.
He was a real Kevin.
I don't know him. I don't know
Yeah.
this person, but I heard his name was Kevin, and that sounds like Karen, so I'm going with
That's
it.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I know I've read it somewhere what the male version of that bitch was supposed to be.
Kevin, Kyle,
Yeah,
Craig.
Craig Craig with a K.
Yeah, because fuck
Maybe.
you.
Yeah,
Consonants.
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
I don't know, man. That was bullshit, and he easily could have given you your drink at least.
yeah.
That was, yeah, there's
I was a
no
little
way
frustrated.
what did they do? Go around and ask people to pay for their food early before they were done? There was
Right.
full plates on those tables.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I don't.
I've never been there before, and now I'm angry with
I like
them.
the place. I was just a little frustrated. Was all.
It
You
was
know?
stupid.
So I was
You're
just
being
like-
way too nice to them.
I like the place, and
That's fine.
I know the owners.
Well,
I
okay,
don't wanna-
well, if that's the case, then we'll blame the guy that was working there.
like he's
and
probably just.
and
drunk,
here's
yeah.
what I'm going to do. The name of this episode is probably going to be "Fuck This Place," but I'm gonna instead of this place, I'm gonna say their name.
Ouch. I know the owners. I don't want to shit in the owners. You know, it's like
We should have asked for him.
right.
Just saying.
That would've been
You
great.
You could have said, "Hey, I know so and so. So if you could just not be a little douchebag."
I have the doctor's number.
And-
It's like, anyway,
That was just bullshit, and I couldn't believe that. And then, of course, it's Sunday, so we thought about stopping by a grocery store that
Yeah.
happens to be right near there, and they're closed because of God.
I'm like, okay. And then we wanted to get Chick-fil-A, and then no, just
Why
all-
is there no Sunday?
and
Why is
then-
there
yeah.
no Sunday?
And then we wanted to go to Hobby Lobby.
Yeah,
You know?
he was always like, "Where did Sunday go?"
Right?
And the truth is, there is no Sunday.
It went to football
That was When Harry Met Sally
Oh.
thing. Have you seen that movie?
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite part from When Harry Met Sally? Go.
Opening credits. I don't know. I don't remember it. It's like-
You could have said, "I'll have what she's having."
That's the one.
That's it.
Yeah.
Rob Reiner.
There's so many
Genius.
movies that are similar around that time.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like you've
Because
got
they all had Billy
Harry met
Crystal.
Harry met Sally. You've got Mail. Kind of that
Yeah.
same vibe.
You've Got Mail was a good movie.
Yeah. It was a slow burn. That was a slow burn.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You've Got Mail. So you're also talking Sleepless in Seattle.
Now that
one,
would be
that
fun.
one would have been
Yeah.
before that.
That would have been fun to like
Right?
remake.
Yes. Sleepless in Seattle was before You've Got Mail. Yeah.
Sure.
That's correct. I'm right. I know this.
It'd be fun to like remake You've Got Mail, but like, you know, Facebook Messenger instead of like actual boo-doo-doo. Like, what would that be like?
You've Got Mail.
Like, I know. Yeah, I met this chick. I get it. And it's like,
Wow. Yeah, I'm sure that there's movies out there that I don't watch because they look lame, that kind of redo that whole premise, right? But it's with, I don't know, like Tinder or some shit like that.
Sure.
I've never, I'm so far removed from that game. I don't even know what any of these apps are like, with the exception of what you've shown me,
Yeah.
or what Paul has shown me.
how is it? Yeah.
I don't know how they
Yeah.
I've never seen what Tinder looks like. I've never seen, I don't know, any of the other just like straight up let's go hook up
Yeah, there's
apps.
Tinder, there's Bumble, there's one that I like called Hinge.
I heard you really like Grindr.
Right? No.
Is that a thing?
I mean,
Remember when there was a show called Grindr, and it wasn't that with Rob Lowe?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Grindr, man.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
Okay.
Echo. What was the show Grindr?
The Grinder is an American single-camera legal comedy television series created by Jared Paul and Andrew Mogul.
Fantastic. You didn't tell me actors, but whatever.
I think
we're still friends.
Yeah, right.
I thought it was Rob Lowe
Sounds about right.
or some other pretty boy
Yeah.
that had more hair than I do. Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that. It's kind of interesting, just kind of how much it's changed a bit from when, like, you know, I didn't know how to feel about Tinder because it was more of a hookup kind of thing. It was when it first started, but then I'm like, well, it's at least I'm putting myself out there as an available person.
Right.
And so I kind of felt weird about it, but then it turned into more of a dating thing because most people were like, you know.
Well, probably because something more hardcore came out.
Yeah.
Right?
People were putting in there, and they still do. It was like, I'm not into hookups, but I'm willing to talk and blah, 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 you know. So it was kind of like a weird, I had some trepidation.
Yeah, but if it was designed for hookups, then why would you go that route?
Because people
and then change it.
That's the thing, is that it's changed because there's more paywalls. There's more, like, you can super like someone, but you can only do that so many times. So if you pay more money, you can do it.
You can super like
and
somebody.
then
Sounds so ridiculous.
So weird. And then there's another paywall where you can make yourself. It's like think of like Facebook when you put out like an ad. As a company.
Yeah.
You might pay $20 to be noticed in a wider area.
Yeah.
So you can do that with Tinder for like these hours that are like the peak times of like the evening to night. You can push your.
That's like radio advertising.
It's pretty much
what are
like
my
that.
peak hours? I don't know. The drive home Monday through Friday.
Right. So there's like paywalls now in Tinder that didn't used to be there. It's just bizarre. It's like, okay.
So it's like a money grab then.
It is a money
cash
grab. Yeah.
I mean, whatever just happened to Match.com? Is that a thing?
I think it
weren't they numero uno?
They were, and there's another one. I mean, there's Plenty of Fish, but I think something along those lines.
Plenty of Fish is one?
Plenty of Fish, POF. And I've never been on it. Match.com, I think, is a couple friends I know use.
We should come up with one.
Like, fuck.
And just call it Bonin.
Whoop, whoop.
BON apostrophe N.
But it's weird how people will use these platforms for something else.
I guess that's Bonin.
So,
let's not do that.
Bonin.
Yeah. But they'll get it. They know what I mean.
So people will use Tinder to promote, like, you know, use my premium Snapchat and hook up on there. Yeah. So it's like, fuck you, you know? But I don't know. I want to write. I feel like there's a bit in here that I need to like develop and write, because it's like every girl seems to have a dog.
Oh, yeah.
They never really have cats. You don't really see a whole lot of that. And then they say, well, if you don't get along with my dog, then it's probably not going to work out. You know, and it's just like all this. I keep running into the same thing. Like different girls will say, like, I hope you can keep up with me. And it's like, Jesus, why are you like giving me the uphill battle here of like,
all right,
you know, you better make the first move because I never do.
I feel like these apps made it easier for, I mean, I don't know if I'm saying this the right way, but I don't care. I feel like it's more liberating for women out there. And then for men, it's gotta be like half and half. Like it's easier for them to reach out to people, but also they're probably like, I mean, the ones that are decent people are probably just super nervous because of the just the atmosphere out there.
Yeah.
Right.
You
now.
know, I mean,
and it's and because you probably have half the dudes that are straight up like, here's my dick.
Yeah.
In a photo. And then you probably have the other half that are just like overthinking it and worried that they're gonna come off the wrong way.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't know. Is there a medium there?
There is, you know, you have to kind of start off with a joke or say, "Hey, I saw that photo. That looks cool. Tell me more about it." So you ask them a question about something.
Which is so interesting because they know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like there's one end game here. Well, there's two. One is the same result that you would get from our new app called Bonin coming to a iOS device near you. And then the other then the other one would be a legitimate long-lasting relationship.
Yeah.
And there's only two outcomes. So
but
if anybody
have a hybrid, you know.
But is there?
Yeah.
Because
if you go on a date,
the thing is that if you're reaching out to them, it doesn't matter what line it is.
Right.
You know, this was not a dating app thing, but I sent a message to this is a whole story. Oh my God. I shouldn't have started this. How do I tell this story? Well, okay. So there's a Broadway actress out there.
Oh, yeah.
That used a photo that I took. So I had a photo that I took of her in the show Wicked. I sent it to her on Twitter years ago, and she liked it and retweeted it, and it was cool. It was great because, as I discussed with you, a lot of these actors that are in Broadway shows, because of the copyright and everything behind it, they don't really have a lot of images or videos of them out there doing this role. And I just so happened to be at a show with my family, and I took a really nice camera with me, and I snapped some photos during loud parts of the show where nobody would hear a shutter. Mm-hmm. So these pictures turned out really good. And so I sent her that photo, and years later, so just a couple days ago, she posted that same photo again on Facebook. And I sat there and I thought about it, and I'm like, hey, I have more photos from that show, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reach out to her and send her a message with some of these photos, because clearly she likes them, which is cool, but I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So here's where I'm trying to get with this. I didn't know how to start this message. And that's what I said at the beginning of the message. I said,
here's the deal.
I said, hey, Donna, which is her name. And how did I phrase it? I was like, I don't really know how to start a message with somebody that I don't know. But it's like, it's the same way that I communicate with you on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
But I don't know this person, but they've added me as a friend a long time ago, and now I'm just kind of
there. Yeah.
It's like a cold open conversation. And I'm trying not to be weird about it, but I'm just like, hey, so I know that you like at least this one picture, so I figured if anybody should have these, it's you. And so I said, and lo and behold, she responded, and she said that she absolutely loved them, and she wants me to email them and whatever. But that's the thing. Going into that conversation on a dating app, I would be, every time, are you just trying to figure out like a non-fucking creepish way to say something? Or
that's the thing, is
because even if you comment on a photo, it's like, oh, you're staring at that photo of me. And I mean, is that expected? Or
it's kind of expected because you're putting yourself out there, as you have so many photos.
All right.
That's the thing, is she is on Facebook to be on Facebook. I get it, but when you have two people on one platform for the same kind of ideas and things, it's kind of expected that it's kind of, oh, you message, oh, okay.
Okay.
And I get it. So,
and I mean, I understand the situation that they have put themselves on this app for the same reason that you are on the app, but it's way different to have a dude reach out to a woman.
Yeah, it is.
I was gonna say girl, and then I was gonna get yelled at if I was like girl. So if you have a dude reach out to a lady on there, it's a whole different vibe than a girl reaching out to you. And here's my question: does a girl ever just reach out to you?
Sometimes.
Really? Give me a percentage.
Very low, very low. But sometimes, I throw fun. It depends on how many photos you're allowed and what you put up on there.
Yeah.
Because, you put the one where you're like, this is my business. This is, this is my, my weekend look.
Okay.
This is my kind of provocative, sexy kind of,
That's all of my photos.
look of like, the exact same photo, just like Santa hat, turkey. No. So it's kind of expected. Kind of, you don't know what is going to trigger the other person to be like, oh, hey, hi. So I put like fun stuff where I'm like, okay, I have stuff where I'm like, I'm on my bike, so that shows recreation, and then I have photos of comedians I've met, so that shows like, oh,
nice,
whoa. What? So that starts the conversation.
That's smart.
And a lot of people. So I put the Dane Cook one up there, and that's gotten in the past. That's gotten me a lot of like, oh my god, you've met Dane Cook
from this most recent thing. Nice.
The one, very cool. The meet and greet. Yeah. So it was just like, oh my god, you've met. And then we get on comedy, and I have other stuff on there. I'm like, yeah, I'm a fan of comedy. And
well, that's good. The Dane Cook one's good because eventually they're going to find out that you're a fan of Dane Cook. And then there's a population of women out there that do not like him. And that's a conversation you don't want to have.
That's true. And then there's one of Kevin Smith, and there, he's kind of, he's not the easiest person to meet. I mean, if you're in LA, maybe.
Fair.
But around here, people are like, you fucking met him? And then he did a podcast, and we and kind of tell the story, and oh my God, wow. And it just kind of opens it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's, I'm kind of seeing a lady, but anyway, it's just
go on.
Big kind of the story. But it's just kind of
that's another paywall on our Patreon.
There you go. Right, we're gonna go through all of Joe's messages. Woo! There you go.
That would be good.
And so there's been times where I've kept it chill, where it's like, where was that taken? Like, oh, Mexico? Okay, tell me about that trip. Or, wow, I really like your haircut in this. Just try to compliment, not be gross.
I don't know, man, because that's like, even in sending that message on Facebook, I have fairly, like, I'm a confident person in most facets of life. But when it comes to something like that, or, starting a conversation fresh, I'm not... I don't think I have that kind of self-confidence to. It's always going to make me feel like I'm gonna overanalyze exactly everything that I'm gonna say because I don't want to sound like a fucking weirdo.
Right.
And if I had to be on these apps,
but how
I feel like I would only wait for somebody to make some sort of first move.
But you got to think of like the bar. And you're at the bar, and there's always someone new coming in.
Oh, for sure.
You always, hey, it's small talk.
Yeah, but I get it. But at the bar, like, I'm, for lack of a better way of saying it, kind of a big deal.
Oh, yeah. But it's no different.
I'm not trying to oversell it, but, I'm more of a big deal in there because it's my bar.
Yeah.
But on fucking Bumble or whatever, it's like I'm in this sea of dudes that are just looking to ejaculate.
Right. But
eventually,
yeah. But it's like, where's the...
But that's...
Everyone has a different...
Just weird.
Everyone has a different finish line.
I see what you did
like,
there.
But that's true. It's true. It's like, is someone really that bored and they just want to get someone just for that night? Or
I suppose it depends on the app you're on.
It does.
And whatever.
Then there's people who just kind of want to take the time and get to know and be like, okay, well, this is fun. Do you want to go on a date? And then, okay. And,
Yeah, I guess so.
So everyone has a different finish line.
And I understand I'm simplifying it by saying that's... But I mean, that really is every guy's end game.
Yeah, pretty
and
I mean, girls aren't innocent either. But,
right.
But it's just more like...
That's been one of the biggest surprises to me in life, is that there's people out there there's women out there that think similarly to how a guy typically thinks. And I'm like, that's a thing that exists? I had no idea.
I don't know, but it's...
Thank you, technology.
There you go, right? It's like, okay.
I didn't know.
Fine. But I haven't been on it for a while because I'm talking to someone,
Yeah.
But, it's always...
When was the last time you saw that person? 3 weeks?
3-4 weeks ago. She's been a little busy.
I don't know.
We talk like every day.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. But you got to keep your options open. You got to remember that finish line, Joe. Got to get to that finish line.
But
I'm out of coffee, but I'm so thirsty.
I know, right? So it's nice. It can be frustrating because you can go through those spells where it becomes a job and it feels weird. At one point, I had some prospects.
Yeah.
that went south, and then I started seeing someone, and then that kind of turned around, and then I'm like, is it even worth it anymore? Like, I mean, I have to kind of sit there and define for myself, well, what do I really want? You know, maybe I really don't, but
it is kind of nice as well as you get older that you become more, or at least with me, you become more content with yourself.
you do.
Right.
But I still kind of, you know, there's part of me that still wants to
You could
live with someone.
Swipe right on yourself.
You can. That's right.
Get your points up.
Boom.
Is that how that works? Do you get points?
Why not?
Does it show you, does it ever indicate how many people swipe left on you versus right? Or however that particular app works?
Not really.
Because I feel like there would be way
of.
more suicides in the world.
There's a pay wall where like I pay for Tinder for a bit because it gives you some extra options.
Okay.
And there's one where you can see before you match with someone, there's like a little tab that you can see if they swiped right on you. You haven't swiped right on them to match.
Okay.
But you can go through and be like, oh, she's pretty cool. Or,
that would be an interesting experiment to adjust. Do it like week by. The problem is that how often do you show up on someone's feed if they've already swiped left on you or whatever the bad one is?
I see repeat people
that you've swiped left. But it's probably because just the population around here is bullshit. Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's the experiment to do. 1 week, you use one batch of photos. The second week, you change your photos entirely to different, like a whole different vibe, and make that kind of like a social experiment to see if you happen to get more likes or right. I don't even know what I'm saying. Right swipes. That's a weird way to say that.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, it's just kind of different because, like, for a minute there, it was like it almost became a job.
Yeah.
You know, where I was sitting there.
I have enough jobs.
At least it was weird. It was just kind of like, okay, I'm on like 2 different sites or apps. And so I would spend maybe 15 minutes on one going, yes, no, yes, no, maybe. And then I'd go to the other one and actually like try and read it. And then be like, yeah.
It's like fucking hotornot.com was like an actual thing.
It was.
That existed. And that was like people were so anti that. Mm-hmm. And people were, I don't know if it was a situation of people uploading other people's photos or what was going on there, but there was a whole thing where everybody was against that site for a long time. But now dating apps are essentially that exact same thing that's trying to connect you with somebody else.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck?
It's weird.
What happened to us?
We turned into the curve. And like, you know, it's just, it's a weird thing. But I mean, you see the same kind of...
It really is that, isn't it?
Yeah. You see the same literature. I'd be curious to see. I don't know what it's like if a girl, because I'm not gay. I'm not on Grindr, but I'd be curious. Well, Patreon. All right. I'd be curious to see what a girl's perspective on Tinder. So when she's swiping through guys, like what's the guy's profile? What is it that they're seeing over repetitive?
Yeah,
like, I like to fish. I got my truck nuts on.
Oh my god!
Like I don't know.
I think we're talking about farmersonly.com.
Right. I see the girls that kind of have the same wordings. Like you know, I love to travel. I have my dog, and if you can't keep up with me,
Joe, are you saying that women are predictable?
Could be. There's always a chance. You know,
depends on the app you're on.
Depends, yeah. So it's kind of interesting how I would love to see if it's kind of the similar story with the guys.
Yeah,
if you know they have the.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm very motivated.
We are limited to the English language.
Yeah,
and there's only so many fucking things you can say to cram into this one paragraph or whatever the fuck you're given. So. It's gonna you've got to boil it down to this to like you said, to grab their attention, and there's only so many things you can say, which leads me back to my whole sending this message with these photos
like,
for
how do
her.
I get to the point?
It's like, and how do I not sound like a fucking creep?
Yeah,
because I know that I'm not.
No,
but I feel like that's like the go-to. Hey, here's the thing. If somebody was to cold message me about something, I don't feel like my mind would go there, but I don't know. But maybe that's because I'm the opposite sex. You know what I mean?
Hard to say. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. Dudes are creepy.
Right? So it's kind of like there's a population of guys that kind of ruined it for the rest.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, great, thanks.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You know? So then you have to be doubly on your, best behavior, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you get to know whoever you're talking to, then you kind of define where you're going, I guess. But,
Yeah, I guess so.
But as far as initially starting off, it's like, shit, how do I put myself out there?
That's rough, man.
Like, but it becomes a game, and part of it's like at some point you just don't give a shit.
It would be fun to create a profile for me. I won't do it yet. But it would just be I wonder what I could accomplish. Like would people respond well to the things that I would say or not?
Probably. But then I love
would my own wife swipe right or left?
Oh, that'd be great. Like a married couple, like, honey, no. Like, what? That haircut, no. Like, that would be funny. That'd be kind of a fun social experiment.
Right?
But I would, like another thing that I see on it is like a girl that puts her name, like has her name.
Yeah.
But then every fucking photo is a group photo. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like,
you've got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some women know that they're doing that, and they say, figure it out. If we meet, you'll know. It's like, okay, all right. Like, yeah.
Game on.
But there's some where you're like, it's okay. And then, like, there's some where, like, they're posed with a guy.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, who the fuck is that? Is that your ex? Is that someone that... And then they go, oh, that's my cousin. I'm like, then why are you putting it on there? Yeah.
Left.
It's just like...
This is too much work.
Yeah. I need to... Like, I don't want to do it right now, but it would be fun to just go through and be like, what just the frustrations and the wordings of like, why are you doing this?
It's just so much work.
There's
man.
some where it's just one photo of them.
Yeah.
I don't know how many you could put on, but there's just one shitty photo.
I mean, I've heard stories from you and other people that also they don't end up looking a lot like their photos.
Right? Yeah.
Like, so was that one taken in college or what happened here?
Yeah. Like, okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is what it is. And you're given your opportunity to represent you as accurately as possible. And if you choose not to do that, that's weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you think that people are going to respond?
Right.
And if that's a test, fuck that test.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And that was always like, apps are always been like my secondary because I know I'm like, I'm social enough. I'm going to see someone out there. I've met a lot of people at the bar too.
Yeah.
And karaoke. And you get to see.
And I think that that's a good way. I mean, it's I don't know. I understand that there's alcohol involved, but I feel like that's a good way because you are right in front of one another and you get to see. But I mean, that was before we all had to wear masks and you only get to see from here up.
And I've never been, I've never done speed dating, even though there's like.
I said that like I had no idea that speed dating was a thing. I don't want people to misunderstand. It's not like I'm trying to leave my marriage or anything like that. But
it's the conversation.
But I think it would be so fun if you were in that situation. Like I would have done. I remember going to the different conventions, and like there was a Doctor Who convention, like specifically Doctor Who, and other ones like sci-fi conventions. That then they had speed dating there. Or there was one at Star Wars.
Oh, boy.
That you could just go and meet a bunch of fucking Star Wars nerds and see how compatible you were. Why would you not do that?
Right? Yeah.
Wouldn't that be like, think about like comedians speed dating and somebody that's on the same comedy level as you. And they think you're funny and you think they're funny. And you get all of that out in the open right at the beginning.
You're like,
and it's a fucking free service provided at this thing. That's awesome. That's worth the price of admission right there.
We should do that timeout.
I know, right?
Speed dating. We have plenty of tables.
Video game speed dating.
That could be it. Or just speed dating.
And I'll be on the microphone.
That'd be great. Next.
2 minutes, go.
Boop. Well, yeah, you got the little countdown from the open mics.
That's right.
That's
right.
Goes down.
We can do it.
All the guys rotate or however it works. And then bing. Someday when we get, that would be fun to do.
I find that fascinating that you could, and I mean, granted, you are basing everything off of, this one thing that you're talking about, but it's such an interesting way to meet people. It would also be an interesting way to meet friends.
I feel
as well.
Yeah, it would
like
be.
Let's say you have a group of friends like we do, and we come together and we're like, we've got room for one more.
Like, all right.
And so it's like an interview process.
Yeah, how cool are you?
Where it has 10 of us on this side of the table and one person that has to plead their case.
Okay. It's like a Senate hearing. Of
I love it.
But yeah, I mean, it would be fun. Okay, if we did it at timeout,
yeah,
I get the theme could be video games, retro, whatever.
For sure.
Or just doing it. I feel like if it was like a speed dating night, that people would show up like it's a school dance of like,
yeah,
I don't know yet, or fill out this questionnaire or whatever information. But I wanted to pull off that speed dating idea on a parade where I'm in the trailer and it's like, have you met Joe?
I remember that. Yes.
Like, just come on up, we'll talk.
I remember that.
Just like, that would be so fun to do.
You have till the end of this block.
Right? Okay, bye. Whoop. And then, I have a card. There's a table. We're going slow enough. It's safe.
I like it.
And then just pull someone from the crowd. Like, yeah, okay.
It's perfect.
Because
I see nothing wrong with this plan. It's perfect.
It'd be so much fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like more people should take advantage of those things. Not that they're happening now. They need to start happening again.
More parades.
There's not even parades now. Are there? Everything's canceled. The world is canceled. Anyway, let's end it on a high note.
Julie.
Hey, everyone, check out our Patreon. And we love you long time.
Do it.
Thank you so much for listening.
You guys rock.
We are going to go. I don't think we forgot anything. I think we're good. So we're going to say peace out.
Shalom.
Have a good one.
I don't know.
See you later. Bye-bye.